Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really interesting puzzle, one that probably happens to you every single time you go shopping. It's this weird conflict between what we believe in and what we actually put in our carts. Okay, so let's just get right to it. Here's the core question. Most of us, if you ask us, would say, yeah, I care about the environment. But then you look at our shopping habits and, well, they often tell a totally different story. So what is going on here? Why does this gap exist? This disconnect, this little hypocrisy we all live with, it actually has a name. Researchers call it the attitude-behavior gap, but for our purposes, let's call it the green say-do gap. And it is a surprisingly common, well-documented thing. It's that classic moment, right? You're in the grocery aisle. On one shoulder, you've got your conscience saying, hey, do the right thing for the planet. But on the other, you've got convenience, habit, maybe price, and boom, the same old product lands in your cart. And this isn't just a feeling you have. The numbers show this is a huge, huge trend. So get this. A huge study from 2008 found that more than half of us, 53% to be exact, fall into this exact group. This was across 8 different countries, by the way. Places like the US, the UK, and India. So people are concerned, for sure, but that concern just doesn't cross the finish line into action. This is a global puzzle, which means to solve it, we've got to look inside the shopper's mind. So, how do we get inside our own heads to figure this out? Well, lucky for us, a 2014 study did exactly that. It gave us the crucial psychological clues we need to start cracking this case. All right, so our roadmap for this explainer comes from a 2014 study by Sanjeev Verma. He surveyed almost 330 consumers to pinpoint the hidden psychological triggers, the things that really separate people who buy green from those who don't. And the first major clue the study turned up, well, it's probably not what you're thinking. A lot of people might assume the barrier is, price, or that people think green products just don't work as well. But the data tells a very different story. Let's just kill that quality myth right now. The study found a whopping 86% of people believe that green products are just as good, if not better, than the regular alternatives. So that old stereotype of the, weak, ineffective, eco-friendly cleaner, it's pretty much dead. We trust the products. Okay, so if we like the idea of buying green and we believe the products actually work, what's the real hang-up? What's the missing link between our good intentions in actually buying the thing? Well, this is the showstopper. The study found that only 37% of shoppers felt like they could confidently even find a green product on the shelf. Think about that. It's not a values gap so much as it is an information gap. We literally can't buy what we can't find. But hold on, because that's not the whole story either. The study also found that, even when we can spot the green product, our decision to buy it becomes this little battle between two really powerful forces in our brain, our own personal attitude and the pressure we feel from everyone around us. Let's break this down. Think of your attitude as your own internal compass. It's what you personally feel is the right way to go. But social norms, that's like the powerful magnetic field of the people around you, your friends, your family, your community. And sometimes that external pull is so strong it can completely mess with your compass. And the study puts a huge spotlight on these social norms. This is that powerful, often totally invisible influence from our social circles. We are wired to want approval from the people we care about, and that has a deep, deep effect on the choices we make, including at the store. So when the researchers analyzed the data, they found a few forces are all pushing and pulling on us. There's what they call cognitive attitude, basically what your brain thinks logically. Then there's affective attitude, your gut feeling about it. And the study confirmed, yep, both your head and your heart matter a lot. So do your personal morals and the pressure from your friends. They all have a high impact. But are they all equally powerful? And right here, this is the kicker from the study, in the researchers' own words. A lot of the time, the pull of that social norm is actually stronger than our own personal norm. What we think other people expect of us can literally overpower our own moral code. Peer pressure, it turns out, is a heck of a powerful thing. Okay, so if the biggest hurdles are a lack of clear information and the crazy power of social pressure, how do we fix it? What's the solution? Well, the study also gives us a pretty clear blueprint for how companies can help nudge all of us in the right direction. It basically boils down to a three-step playbook. First, just be transparent. Tell the story behind the product to fix that information gap. Second, make it super obvious what the benefits are for the person buying it. And third, and this is the genius part, lean into the power of social norms. Show real people, not just models, using the product. Make it feel normal, aspirational, and socially cool. At the end of the day, the whole strategy is pretty simple. Don't just make a green product and hope for the best. The goal is to make choosing that product the easiest, most obvious, and most socially rewarding decision a shopper can possibly make in that moment. So, we've followed the clues, we've looked at the evidence, and we've pieced together this whole green Seiju puzzle. Let's just lock in the main takeaways before we leave you with one final question. All right, so to wrap it all up, that gap between what we say and what we do, a lot of the time, it's really an information problem. And yeah, your personal attitude is a huge driver, but that indivisible force of social norms, what your friends and family are doing, that can be the one that tips the scales. And that leaves us with a final thought. And it's really a question for you. This influence isn't just something that happens to you. You are part of somebody else's social circle. You are the social norm. Your choices, the products you use and talk about, they create ripples. So the real question is, what kind of ripples are you creating?